Hey everyone, welcome back to Cuddy's Bookshelf. So it is time for my middle of the year unhaul. So I've gutted my shelves. I say gutted. I haven't been as harsh as I think I should be. But I suppose that just leaves me room for the end of year unhaul. I just get too attached to my books. But I've got two big stacks of books. I think there's around 30 books that I'm unhauling, and that is a lot for me, so I'm quite proud of myself. So I'm going to do these ones in a whole bunch. So the first 5 is I read One of Us is Lying at some point, a few months ago, a month ago, a couple of months ago. At some point I read this and I did enjoy it, but I was expecting more from it. No, because it's been made into either a film or a TV series or something. I don't know, I was expecting more and it was just okay, and I wasn't really that bothered about reading the book. It was just okay. I wasn't, normally with like thriller type books, I'm always too nosy and I need to find out what's happened, and I did read it quite fast, but it wasn't like an addictive thriller. There's this one, and I've kept, so this is a trilogy, so I've kept 2 and 3 in the trilogy just in case they may end up being unhauled. I don't know why I'm keeping them. I think it's because I'm nosy. Shall I just get rid of them? But anyway, I also own the rest of Karen McManus's books, and as much as they are beautiful, when you have them all together, is that a reason to keep a book series that I'm not gravitated towards them? Every time that I go to pick a thriller, these I just skim across. I don't even like acknowledge that they're there on my shelves, and I'm like, there's so many thrillers that I would like to get but don't have room. So yeah, I've got rid of the rest of her books that look, because I didn't know that these didn't follow on. I thought this was a series and I was going to get this like big deep series to get into. But what I didn't know is when the most recent one came out, what's it called? One of Us is Back. When that came out, it was like the 3rd in the trilogy, and I'm like, the 3rd in the trilogy? What? Where did all these go? So I think these are just random ones, but that makes it even worse for me because I'm not gravitated towards them. So yeah, I'm getting rid of this. I'm getting rid of the rest. I'm going to say it now. If I don't read 2 and 3 before the end of the year, I'm unhauling them. And if I forget, remind me. So yeah, that is the first 5 books I'm getting rid of. The next 3 is because I did enjoy, I've only read the first one of this one also, but I did enjoy the first one, and I'm getting the really nice new editions, the hardback editions that are just coming out, and it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the trilogy. So A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead. And I do have 2 of them so far. I think I'm just waiting on the last of the trilogy to come out in the special editions, but I might as well get rid of it because I know that I've pre-ordered it and it's going to come at some point. I think it's soon, so I'm excited for that to come, and I do really want to jump into the rest of this series, the rest of this trilogy. Yeah, I'm getting rid of those. Ones that you will know that's coming because I spoke about it in a couple of videos now is I read The Mister. I really wanted to give E.L. James another chance since 50 Shades, because I did enjoy 50 Shades, but it wasn't written the best. And I think 50 Shades came out at a time where the more smuttier book wasn't really a thing. Like now you can get smut everywhere. It wasn't as big as a thing. You had to like go to like Mills and Boons and stuff. So it was a big thing. But now comparing it to other books that I've read, don't get me wrong, there was other smutty books out at the time. It just wasn't as big as 50 Shades. I thought I would give the author another chance with The Mister. I wasn't that bothered about this. It was very rich man, poor woman. You know, there was certain things where she was in trouble, he had to save her, and I'm thinking, it just reminds me of like 50 Shades but in a different way. It's the same thing but written differently. So yeah, and I have no intrigue to then go into the misses, so I'm getting rid of both of these. The next two are, so the Shadowhunter novels, but they're not main novels, if that makes sense. It's the Cassandra Clare Red Scrolls of Magic and the Lost Book of the White, and these two follow two of the characters that's in like the main Shadowhunter series, Magnus Bane and Alex. I think I already have enough context of the Shadowhunter world with the main like trilogies and everything that have come out. I don't need more. So I'm getting rid of these two. This one I'm getting rid of because I accidentally brought two. This is the second book in the Dark Prince Rose series. I haven't read the first book yet. I really need to get into it. I'm excited for it, but they are standalones but set in the same series. This one I read a while ago and I just didn't enjoy it. I found the woman unbearable when I was reading it. So The Last First Date, I loved this cover. I thought it was really, really cute. Enjoyed the title. Really thought I was going to enjoy this. It's only a tiny one, but I just didn't. She was so desperate and clingy to the point where she couldn't even be happy for her best friend who was in a loving relationship. And it's like, oh, yeah. Get rid of that one. This one I read years ago, but I don't plan on ever rereading it, and I did really, really enjoy it when I read it, and it is My Sister the Serial Killer. This was quite a funny one, and I did thoroughly enjoy it, like I say, but I just won't ever reread it, so that one's going. This one I read recently, and again, I won't reread it, and it is I Am Hitman by Anonymous, obviously, because you don't want people to know who he is. But it is a non-fiction about a man that used to be a hitman, and it's his story of how he got into that profession and his stories during it and how he managed to get out of it. So yeah, another one I read last month, and it is Black Eyed Susans. Again, it's a thriller I enjoyed, but I won't reread it, and it's not like a thriller that I couldn't put down and would want to keep on my shelves to say I absolutely love that thriller. So yeah, getting rid of that one also. The next one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I have this in hardback now. They did like a special edition of it, and I had It Starts With Us in hardback, so I got the hardback of It Ends With Us, so it looked better next to the sequel. So yeah, get rid of that one. Then I have two books. I haven't read these, but I am absolutely obsessed with the film for one of them, and it is Dumpling and Pumpkin. So if you haven't watched the Netflix film Dumpling, it is full of Dolly Parton references and songs, and if you know me at all, you know I am obsessed with the queen that is Dolly Parton. I absolutely adore her. I thoroughly enjoyed the film, but since watching that film, it's been out years now, but since watching that, I did pick up these two, but then I never gravitated towards them. I just never, at the time I was reading a bigger series, so this got pushed back, and then I brought this one, which is Millie Mitchell-Truck's story. I haven't had the craving to pick them up since, so I'm getting rid of these two. I'm going to say I'm getting rid of this one, but technically I am not, because, well, I am. But my husband's taking it to work, so he has his own little book stack at work that he has. And he said that he will take this one off my hands because I have read it. It is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I have read this. I did thoroughly enjoy it. But if I reread it, I do want to get the Chiltern Classics copy of it to go with the rest of my Chiltern Classic books. And so I won't reread this copy. So I don't need it, and I don't have the need to reread it anytime soon, so I would prefer to just get it in the Chiltern Classics, and then if I do want to reread it, I've got it in that one, you know. Then we'll get into the hardbacks. So the first one out of the hardbacks that I'm getting rid of is Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth McNeil. I thoroughly enjoyed this book, but I just won't reread it again. So this is about a girl who was born with like a leopard print on her skin, and her father ends up selling her to the circus. It follows her story on finding her way in life through the circus, and yeah, it was really, really good. I highly recommend it, but I just won't reread it, and I need to be harsher. Then I'm getting rid of How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. I have a few of Bella Mackie's books regarding her running journey, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. I did enjoy this when I read it, but I just won't reread it. It is a beautiful black sprayed edge edition, and it is signed by the author. But I won't reread it. It was okay. It's not one that I feel the need to keep. The same with this one. Again, it is a signed edition, and it is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I did enjoy this. It was very confusing but addictive in a way, because none of it was making sense at first, but then yeah, I did enjoy this, but it's not one that I was obsessed with, so I'm getting rid of that. I am finally getting rid of, I've come to terms with the fact that I don't like this book, and it's just not for me, and it is A Book of Night by Holly Black. You would have seen in a previous unhaul that I did get rid of the other edition I had of this, and I kept this one, but I'm not going to carry it on. I will not pick up the next book because I wasn't bothered about this one. I really enjoyed the concept of it, and I was really excited about it being my first like proper Holly Black book, but I just wasn't. It just wasn't, and that was that, and I'm getting rid of it. The next hardback is Leave the World Behind. I have had this for years. I've read it. I won't reread it. It's only a tiny one. It's got beautiful sprayed edges. I really love that about it, but is it enough to keep a book on your shelves just for the sprayed edges when you know you're not going to read it again? No, it's not. So that is going. And then another Lucy Foley book, I'm getting rid of The Guest List. I was expecting more from this when I read it. I did enjoy this more than The Paris Apartment, but not as much as my favourite ever thrillers. So yeah. Yeah, it was okay. Another thriller that I'm getting rid of is Watch Her Fall. This is a signed by the author edition, and it has beautiful sprayed edges, but I won't reread it again. It is about a girl in ballet. It's very Black Swan of it. And I just won't read it again. I know I won't. I enjoyed it the first time. Again, it's not like a 5-star read or anything, so I don't feel the need to keep hold of it and hopefully reread it or forget about it and reread it. Do you get what I mean? Like, you forget all the details so you feel like you can reread the thriller. I do that sometimes. I blame menopause, but yeah, it's just not one that I'm bothered about rereading. Again, you would have seen this. I've just recently read this, and it's Laura Purcell's The Whispering Muse. I have just gotten her new book in a book box, which I'm excited about because I did enjoy this, but again, it's not one that I will reread, so there's no point me keeping hold of it. And again, it's a signed edition. And if you see my video where it's my bad habits, I'm not just getting rid of all the books with stickers on so I don't have to fill them off. I promise. And then finally, the last book. This one kills me to get rid of. It doesn't kill me to get rid of for the fact of, will I regret getting rid of it? No, I won't, because I have two other editions of this. It's A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. It's just such a beautiful book. That's the only reason I don't want to get rid of it. It's just, I don't know. I'm just being stupid. But this is the copy I'm getting rid of, where it is just plain on the inside. It's just your standard edition of it. This is the one that I said looks exactly the same as it, but it's got the end pages and it is signed by Samantha Shannon herself. And then the other one is Illumicrate, and it has this beautiful sprayed edge, and I have the Priory of the Orange Tree that matches this one, and you know, it's just beautiful. I ended up getting the second print of the Illumicrate one, so these ones wasn't signed, but I do have this one that is signed, so hence why I'm keeping this one. So this one is really, really just the bog standard edition, and the only thing that makes me say I hate getting rid of it is just because of how beautiful it is. Even though I've got two of the books that look identical to this one, it's just so beautiful. But yeah, I'm getting rid of it. I'm doing it. So there will be someone out there that wants a copy of this book, and I shall release it into the world, and hopefully they get it really, really cheap. That is all of the books that I am getting rid of. I think I did really well. I am one of those people that gets really attached to her books, and getting rid of them makes me... Oh, these are something to my insides. And there was 3 books that I was thinking of getting rid of. I have got them on here, but I think I'm going to keep them for a little bit longer. So I got these in a haul, I think right at the beginning of my channel, so beginning of last year, and I haven't picked them up, and I'm thinking, is it because I'm not bothered about them, or is it just that I haven't made time for them? Like, is it a me thing? And it's all the ones that I picked up from Alan Robbie Grillett. So there is The Voyager, there is Jealousy and In the Labyrinth, and then there is The Erasers. And these are translated fictions, and because the reason I'm keeping hold of them, one, I just love these covers. They're just so wacky. I love them. So the reason I'm going to keep these for now is I have been picking up a lot of translated fictions because I want to read more of them. You know, I might actually get round to reading some of these. But these are going to be a bit like One of Us is Lying, the second 2 in that trilogy. If I haven't read them by the end of the year, these will go in my unhaul for the end of the year, because I need to be stricter. Do you ever get that thing where you have books on your shelves and you think, in my next unhaul, they can go, because you've not gravitated towards them at all, and then it gets to where you're pulling them off the shelf to unhaul them, and then you start reading the backs of them and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds quite good. Back on the shelf, and then, you know, that's what I do. But I've got rid of 30, and I think that's really good for me, so I'm taking it as a win. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know about the books that I got rid of. If any of them are your favourites, I do apologise, but they're just not for me. Or they are for me, and just ones that I will never gravitate towards again. Let me know if you're unhauling any books, which ones you're unhauling. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, please subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! I've read too many MJ Aldridge's books. They are good thrillers. On that note, I might as well... Making space, right. Because I did enjoy 50 States... But yeah, I accidentally brought 2. Me and my pre-orders. The next one is, it ends with... And I had it starts with us. What is that, the next one called? Yeah. Millie Mitchellchuck. It is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And every time I say that, I just think of Matilda. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. The end of Matilda. Please tell me I'm not the only one that does that. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. They're over there. And her father sells her to... No. Another thriller. I'm just devouring through my thrillers, aren't I? And then the other one is like a... Was it Fairy or Illumicrate did an edition of it? But anyway, it's going to bug me now. I need to know. 1 minute. Illumicrate. Ended up getting the second print of, even though I've got two books that look identical. Even though I've got two books that look identical. Why can't I get that word out? Oh, that's just beautiful. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this book. What the freaking Nora was that? What the freaking hell? I hope that you enjoyed this book. Not like I've read one to you, but anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this book. I mean, I have got 30 going. Anyone want one? But I film with my hair down for once because I've dyed it. Don't, if you can see the dye patches, don't mind your own. I got dye patches all. I dyed my hair yesterday. This is why I wore my hair down, to try and hide all of the I look like I've got like a Lego hairline. But I did it, it's a box dye, I did it myself. Leave me alone. Because who can afford to go to the salon nowadays?